Hello, everyone. Welcome in on a Monday evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. We're here. It is Honkai Star Rail week because 3.8 is right on the horizon, and that means we're going to get a lot of really fun and exciting stuff, especially for me personally. Firefly, the Dahlia, or Constance, however you want to call her, and a lot of things are going to happen in 3.8, and it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be the final story patch that we have within 3.x before we go off to a brand new planet. So we're going back to Penacony, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to find out a little bit more of what happened off screen with Firefly and her second death, and more importantly, how Constance slash Dahlia plays into the story of Penacony, and whether or not there's going to be some type of dynamic between her and Black Swan. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. That's going to come out in 2 days, but tomorrow the actual patch drops live, and that'll be really cool as well because we are summoning on the Dahlia. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing really well. It's been about a week since you last saw me. Like I said, we're going to be really focusing on 3.8 here before we kind of go off and start Zenless Zone 0 up again. So yeah, should be really cool. We'll do summoning session tomorrow. We're going to do the story patch on Wednesday. I don't think the story patch is going to be that long, so we're going to do the whole thing probably Wednesday, and just go all the way through, marathon it in just one big whole session. That's really what we've been doing for the last couple of story missions. Even though they've been really long, I kind of just do it all in just one single night. So we're probably just going to do the same thing here. So and then after that, we'll do the story discussion stream, and then, who knows, as we go into the holidays, what the stream schedule is going to look like. But yeah, hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Weekend was super nice for me because I was able to spend a little bit of extra time with my family because my brother has graduated. So congratulations to my brother. He's probably not watching, but he is fully graduated from college. So the graduation ceremony hasn't happened quite yet. That's happening this week, later this week. But he's done. So no more classes, no more assignments, no more exams. He's fully done, and he's got his whole adult life ahead of him now, and it's exciting stuff because now he and I are going to be operating on kind of the same kind of adult life schedule, and being able to kind of interact with him and spend time with him with that knowledge is really cool because when you're a student, there's a lot of limitations that are placed upon you, and it's gonna be cool, and I'm very proud of him, obviously. So weekend was nice, and also same weekend, my brother finally finished Trails Through Daybreak 2, so he is fully caught up to Trails, and he is now right up there with me with being having been just the biggest Trails fan amongst our family. You could even argue he's a bigger Trails fan than I am now because he has actually played all the games, and I haven't played the first 5. So, but yeah, good weekend, exciting weekend. A lot went down this weekend, and but yeah. So we've got the Dahlia's character trailer came out about an hour ago, about an hour and a half ago. We're gonna react to that, have a good time here. So for those of you who are watching the VOD or watching this live on YouTube or Twitch, however you may be watching, the way we usually do things here is we will watch every trailer that gets released the night that it comes out, if we can, and we will watch it 3 times. The first time through, no pauses, no breaks. You get my raw reaction. I will be completely reacting naturally. Second time through, once again, no pauses, no breaks. This time, I'm a bit less, emotionally overwhelmed. I can kind of focus on what's going on, kind of start to think about what I'm watching, kind of get my thoughts in order. And the third time through, we will then actually kind of take our time. We'll go frame by frame sometimes. We'll take a look. We'll discuss. We'll theorize. We'll hyperfixate, all that jazz. And we'll just kind of get as much from the trailer as we possibly can. And then obviously we will discuss what we think about the trailer as we go through the entire process. So that's usually how we do things around here. That's how we've always done our character trailer reactions. So we're going to go through it 3 times, twice, no pauses, and then once actually going through, frame by frame, taking our time. So just giving you the lowdown. In terms of what I'd like to see, really, I'm not sure. Like, usually when a trailer or a story patch comes out or something happens, like a live stream of some kind, I have a good idea in my head of like, okay, if I were the person writing the Honkai Star Rail story, or I was the person writing, this character and their backstory, or what is supposed to be kind of the prelude to their character arc, I can usually kind of get a good idea or grasp in my head on what to expect from the trailer or the piece of content that I'm reacting to. With Constance slash Dahlia, I'm going to call her Constance, okay? I'm going to call her Constance because that's the name that is in my mind. With Constance, it's kind of difficult to do that because we thought she was dead and we didn't think she was ever going to be brought back. And she is here now. And supposedly she has a pretty pivotal role in the story. She's a cremator. We know that from the live stream. She seems to have a relationship with the Stellaron Hunters. She seems to have a relationship with Black Swan. And so there's multiple different directions they could take this character in. So I don't know what to expect, nor do I know what I really want to see here. I think if I really want to see anything is I'd like to see I'd like to get a little bit more insight into how her role as a character, I guess not role as a character, how her dynamic between her and the Stellaron Hunters came to be, right? Because we were told that she has supposedly some type of connection to various factions. Skelly, first time chatter, welcome in, man. We're gonna react to the Constance trailer here very soon. We're just kind of talking about what we want to see from the trailer, and really what I want to see from the trailer is not a lot, because I was just saying that normally I get a good grasp on what to expect from trailers, and if I were a writer within the Honkai Star Rail team, I can kind of okay, this is where I would take this character, or this is what I would do to set up this character arc coming in the story, right? The Dahlia, having been removed from the story for so long, I don't know really what to predict. And that's making it difficult for me to kind of ponder on what this trailer could be. They could go in so many different directions with this trailer, right? They could lean into her sexiness. She's hot. We all know that, right? They could lean into that. Who knows? They could lean into more mystery, just keep things fairly kind of low key still and just reveal everything in 3.8. They could do a lot of things. But yeah, like I said, I think if I were to really pinpoint one thing that I want to see is how did she come to know the Stellaron Hunters? How did she come to be involved with their script in Penacony, right? And, because from there I can kind of start to interpret, I can glean some information, I can kind of start to kind of think about what to expect from 3.8. So should be cool. So I'm excited to kind of jump in here and take a look. So I've got the stream pulled up already. I did mess around a little bit with the audio since our last stream. We're working with a new setup, new microphone, new everything. So new audio settings, bear with me. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to get used to the new equipment and kind of the new setup that I've got here in my office. But let's go ahead and jump over. So here we are. The Dahlia character trailer, the final note. Interesting. Is that note like a music note, or notes like a letter of some kind or some type of script? I'm not sure. So only 2 minutes long, so a little bit on the shorter side, which to be expected, right? Unfortunately, with everything going on with Star Rail and kind of the dynamic between China and Japan now, obviously the Star Rail team is really focused on just developing as much content as possible for 4.x. So they probably didn't have a lot of time to invest into making this trailer. So not that long, but I mean, hey, I'll take what I can get, right? Besides, Constance doesn't need a lot to impress me. when you look the way she does, man, it's easy. But yeah. All right, so we've got, we're usually at 30%. Closed captions are on. HD is on. All right, so Skelly, I don't think you were in earlier. The way we usually do this, we react to the trailer 3 times. We will react to it in full once. You get my raw reaction. I freak out usually and just full emotion. Then we'll watch it through a second time. The second time through, again, no pauses, no breaks. This time, I'm a bit more focused. I can kind of think about what I'm watching. And then the third time through, we take our time. We go frame by frame if necessary. We discuss, we theorize, we hyperfixate, all that jazz. So 3 times through. This is the first time. Blind reaction. The Dahlia trailer, Constance. In 3, 2, 1.
Constance, my most ambitious child.
What the hell?
My most exceptional child.
Ooh, we're...
There is nothing more.
That was an expression I didn't expect to see on her. Ooh, she's like
Found you.
grieving.
Tears won't hide your desire for
Black Swan.
revenge.
That was her
For
voice.
everything to go as planned, I need you to stay within my control.
Ooh, shit. And there is the character title card.
At a funeral, silence is preferred.
Oh yes,
Besides,
feel the Yuri.
I'm not used to you being so rough with me yet.
Oh,
I'll
nice
try to be
line.
more gentle.
Oh my God, they're just leaning fully into this.
Ran out of tricks? Compared to being a good follower, I'm
Oh,
better
God.
as a lead.
Bro, Black Swan always finds itself in these positions, man.
Watch yourself. Don't miss the beat.
The Yuri is strong with this one.
I'm very good
God damn.
at taking the initiative.
Bro, what are, what are these lines? Oh, the OST, dude.
Memory stones. Who is
God
the lead
damn.
dancer?
Oh, the animation of this is beautiful, too.
Well, that's surprising. Then
Oh, yes. I want to have a front seat to this. Don't mind me.
dance
There's the
one
ult.
more time with me.
God
Back to
damn,
the
dude. This is a
beginning again.
visually impressive trailer.
Shall we? Let's. Farewell, my
There- ooh.
father.
Dope title card. God damn. Great trailer. That was some serious eye candy there. They're like, all right, we don't have that much time and resources to dedicate to making the Constance trailer. What do we do to entertain our player base, right? While we're developing content for 4.x. Take Black Swan, take Constance, put them in the trailer together, add a lot of sexual tension and innuendos. Perfect. That's all we need. Well, they really leaned more into the kind of like the entertainment aspect here, for sure. Obviously, like it was more kind of a spectacle than anything. We've had trailers like that before, and they've really worked. And I think this one really works as well. Visually, really impressive trailer. Anything with Black Swan is always very visually impressive because kind of her whole, kind of like mysterious, kind of like reflective, kind of like almost churchy aesthetic makes for some really visual. For some really great visual storytelling, and we get that here again. We got it in the Black Swan trailer. We're getting it in this trailer, and Constance with her motif as well, right? The candles, her being a cremator, and all that also works super well. So, yeah, visually a spectacle for sure. The OST really popped off there in the second half. That was really fun. Once that beat dropped, I was like, whoa, what am I listening to? And just really overall, from a production standpoint, I'm surprised the trailer was that good because I was really expecting it for them to take it easier because of the fact that they're probably dedicating most of their resources to 4.x. But yeah, I mean, it's a short trailer, but it's a damn sweet trailer. And holy shit, that was a lot of fun. Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again now that I'm not like my eyes aren't drawn to very specific things. I mean, who am I kidding? My eyes are going to be drawn to very specific things every single watch of this trailer. So she's definitely grieving here for Duke Inferno. Interesting that he calls her ambitious. And she's actually sad here. Like, that's not a fake expression. She is grieving.
Found you.
But there's something more there.
Tears won't hide your desire.
Hey, Andreas, good to see you, my friend.
For everything to go as planned, I need you to stay within my control.
Like, let's just take two of the hottest characters in the game and just give them sexual Yuri tension and
Silence is
perfect.
preferred. Oh, besides, I'm not used to you being so rough with me yet. I'll try to be more.
Chat on YouTube looks like you're not reading there. Miss you, Leo. Good to see you, Andreas. My bad, yeah. I forgot to bring
Ran
chat
out
up
of
on
tricks?
YouTube. I'll do that here right after this watch.
Compared to being a good follower, I'm better as a lead.
This is our second watch, Andreas. This is a cool visual. I'll definitely want to
Watch
pause there and
yourself.
kind of take a look there. And then we're kind of like broadening out the scope of the dreamscape
Relax,
here.
darling. taking the initiative.
Here we go. It's like them having the power. Oh, those. Them having the power or remembrance that they do makes them almost gods within a dreamscape, right? So they're just flying through the dreamscape here and just using their powers pretty
Well, that's surprising.
without restriction.
Then. Dance one more time with me. Back to the beginning again.
There's the grave
Shall
again.
we? Let's. Farewell, my father.
Really, really great. Yeah, let me thank you for reminding me, Andreas. My bad. Anyone on YouTube who was watching and wanted to chat, definitely completely forgot about that. So you guys get to see my YouTube analytics there for just a little bit. Hello. And we're back here. All right, YouTube chat is here. Missed you as well, Andreas. It's good to be back. This isn't our first stream back. So we had our live stream for 3.8. We reacted to that as the first stream back. And obviously some things are new. I've got a much better microphone, much better webcam. So I don't sound like shit and I don't look like shit. And that's pretty cool. That's really fun. But yeah, good to be back. Japan was awesome, Andreas. And the break was very much needed. Was able to kind of refresh my mind, kind of like take some time to myself. But now Star Rail 3.8 is right here. It is very soon. And we're going to play through it. We're going to have a good time. So you were there on my first watch on YouTube. Fantastic. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I saw earlier today. I can't comment in past live, I think. You were from Japan. I am not from Japan. I am from the grand country of the United States of America. But I took a trip to Japan. It was my first time ever going to Japan. I went there for about 2.5 weeks. A little bit closer to 2 weeks, but a little bit over 16 days. I went for 16 days. And then when I came back, it was Thanksgiving here in the States. And then I was able to kind of take that time as well to spend with my family. Then obviously work, and we're here now. So fantastic trip, really, really great. And was very, very inspiring, very magical, and very special. And it was really cool to go during the time that I went because Cyrene had just released and there was a whole lot of Cyrene stuff. So you know, Andreas, and anyone who is watching, who has watched me for any decent amount of time, you guys know that the one character that kind of from Star Rail that has defined this channel for this entire past year has been Cyrene. This channel is mostly been defined by that character. And so it was really cool to kind of go take a break from stream, but also kind of see Cyrene kind of plastered everywhere. And, you know, her being one of my favorite characters in the game, one of my favorite characters of all time, was super fun. Like, I got to walk through Akihabara and just see Cyrene billboards and like Cyrene promotional material. It was super cool. So, Andreas, oh my English, you went to Japan. What's your favorite thing you spot? My favorite thing in Japan was actually something that happened fairly spontaneously. We went to Kyoto, which is one of the 3 like big cities that most people go to visit Japan on their first trip. And our first night there, we were doing a couple, no, our first day there, like we traveled to Kyoto in the morning and we checked into our hotel early and we were walking through the city. We went to Nishiki Market, fantastic place. And then we went to the Geisha district at night. And after we finished with that, we were wondering like, hey, we still have a few hours left in the night. Do we want to do something else before we go get dinner? Right. And I went with a friend, one of my best friends. I've known him since high school. And he was like, hey, I just saw online about this place called Kodaiji Temple. Apparently they've got beautiful gardens at night because they do a light up show. And I was like, fantastic. How close is it? Brings up his phone, 5 minutes away, walking distance. Let's do it. So we walked there. When we get to the temple, there's like this elevated kind of ramp at an angle. It's like a 45-degree kind of staircase, but not a staircase, more like a stone ramp. You climb up. You pay about 500 yen, super cheap, to get into the temple. And it is one of the most magical experiences that you will ever have. It is beautiful, gorgeous. The colors are just otherworldly. And the light show that they had was super cool, completely spontaneous. One of the most memorable things that I've ever done, for sure. So, Andreas, now you make me jealous. I need to be there now. I'm gonna beg my dad. Well, Andreas, I would highly suggest that you go. It was fantastic. If you've never been to Japan, I think everyone needs to go to Japan at least once. It is a beautiful country. Beautiful country. It's fun to walk in the beautiful city. Absolutely. It is every city there has such culture and charm and is visually impressive. So Andreas, also notice you have a lot of figurine in the back, or it's an old one. No, Andreas. So let's go ahead before we jump into the third rewatch here. Let's go to this screen. So like, yeah, like things have changed, right? I've got new overlays, new webcam, new microphone, and you guys get to see a little bit more of my office. So kind of talked about these things a little bit in the last stream, but I'm almost to my 1 year streaming anniversary, and I'm gonna do kind of like a 1 year anniversary stream where I talk about everything that happened in the past year and what to expect going forward for the channel. And during that stream, I'll kind of walk through everything that's new about the channel, right? Like I can kind of take that time to kind of introduce what I've done, promotion, like from a branding perspective and all that stuff. So see, it feels so different. Haha, I knew it. Can't wait for that stream. Yep, I hope to see you there. It'll be probably on the 30th because my 1 year anniversary is the 29th. But on the 29th, I'm coming back from Mexico. I'm going to Mexico for Christmas. So it'll probably be on the 30th, and that'll be fun. So, but yeah, looking forward to it. Hope to see you there. But yeah, so the trailer is really, really cool. I don't think there's going to be a lot for us to kind of go through here from kind of like a actual like theory perspective or like theorizing. Like this trailer is mostly just have a good time, you know, just a visual spectacle. The OST is really good, and obviously they really leaned into like, oh yeah, Constance, she's hot. Black Swan, she's also hot. What if we took two hot women, put them in a trailer together, and have them flirt intensely? It's gonna work, right? It's gonna be entertaining. So that's really mostly what they leaned into. But there is a few things that we can kind of take a look at. So let's take a look. So immediately, right, you've got Rain and Umbrellas, and we're in the kind of deep dreamscape of Penacona here. And seemingly Constance is kind of what I assume to be grieving for Duke Inferno, right? Because he's dead. Akron showed up. She was like, all right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And then his head got chopped off or something. Nihility, kaboom. And we know how the story goes from there. But she's seemingly grieving here. The flower kind of blooms. I think this is kind of like supposed to be symbolism over her kind of power as a cremator kind of blooming here. And what I didn't expect to kind of see that here. She is genuinely grieving here. Like, she is sad. Like, this is a genuine expression of her. But one thing that quickly changes is that there's a flicker, and I'm kind of interested to see what this flicker is, right? So, like, she flickers between kind of like this face of genuine sadness and then a more kind of crazy or insane or kind of like some type of, you know, she's still grieving here. Like, her eyes are still narrowed in a way that makes me think that she's still sad, but there's definitely a little bit more craziness going on here. So what is this, right? Is this like a split personality? Is this like her internal thoughts versus her outer appearance, right? Like, I'm excited to see whether or not they choose to explore this. I don't think they will, but I think it'd be interesting if they did. So then we kind of bring in Black Swan to the trailer, and then you kind of get just a visual spectacle as the two kind of interchange as they begin combat with each other. Seemingly, Black Swan like wants to be in control of the Dahlia, so that's interesting. Andreas, what's your opinion on Black Swan having a mistress? I mean, hey, I don't think Hoyoverse would ever make any relationship in their games romantic canonically. I just don't think it's a smart decision from like a, you know, societal perspective or like a social perspective. Like, people can get really crazy over like romance in their gacha games. It's really bad. So I don't think they'll ever have a canonical, like, confirmed romantic relationship. But like, I'm all for Yuri bait. Like, give it to me, bro. Like what's the matter, bro? Like, what's better than one hot woman doing hot things? Two hot women doing hot things, preferably together. I'll for sure take that. So The black umbrella actually reminded me of Kafka's splash art. Yeah, a little bit. That's why I was kind of a bit surprised at first during my first rewatch. It did remind me a little bit of the Kafka drip marketing art of her, but it is, I think it is just a funeral for Duke Inferno. Well, maybe probably not Duke Inferno, a funeral for someone else or some other thing. And Constance is taking the opportunity to mourn for, the Banshin and her former colleagues because they're all dead now except for her. So anyway, we kind of continue here. And like I said, there's not a lot to really focus in on here. This is mostly just really, really good combat, intense Yuri bait. So, but one thing that I really, really appreciate about this whole kind of sequence here is the fact that, so this is a good line. Like, obviously, both of these women are trying to kind of, they're working together pretty obviously. And we're going to get that in 3.8. They were probably working together in some way. But they're trying to use each other. This is not like a positive, like, kind of like good natured relationship. This is some type of rivalry. They kind of already spoke to that a little bit in the 3.8 live stream. But they're working together, but they're more rivals. They more want to kind of like, they have hidden agendas. They know what they want to use the other person for, and they're kind of wrestling control as they kind of go through this trailer, which is why Constance here says she's kind of better as a lead, quote unquote. But going back to what I was saying earlier, one thing that I really appreciate about this trailer. Okay, this is the main line I wanted to focus, the main image I wanted to focus on. I got interrupted again. I'll promise I'll go back to it here in a bit. What is this? This is a graveyard, I think, for sure, right? Because these are crosses, right? These seem to be flowers, I think. I'm not quite sure. They could also be city buildings. That said, is this an entrance to Penacony? Like, not through the traditional way, right? Through the bathtub. Is this like the way Black Swan and the Dahlia enter Penacony? Because it's definitely a gateway of some kind. I'm curious to see what this is, because this is a very particular visual. But anyway, we kind of go through, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. We're in Penacony, right? This is a dreamscape. They're surrounded by Memoria. Theoretically, in the dreamscape, people with the power of the remembrance are near gods. Like, because they can maneuver through the Memoria so easily and manipulate it as well, Black Swan and the Dahlia / Constance are very, very powerful within the dreamscape. And you see that here. Like, they just kind of start throwing haymakers at one another. Like, it was just that whole ass building. Just take that. And then Constance just kind of burns it in half. And the spectacle continues. Like, they just keep finding giant rifts in the dreamscape as they're just tossing buildings at each other. Like, this is emanator level power, but they're not emanators, right? Okay, well, maybe they are, but who knows? They're probably not emanators, right? But obviously, because they're in the dreamscape, they have a lot more influence on the world than they normally do. Intense Yuri bait shot. Like, holy shit. I'm going to make this my screensaver one day. Andreas, we are interrupting them. Yeah, we are, and they better be okay with it, because I want a front row seat, my friend. Let me get my popcorn. In fact, I'm gonna reserve a movie screen. Andreas, I think Dahlia will join Stellaron Hunter to push wheelchair for Firefly. I've actually seen that theory a little bit more as we get closer to 3.8, that the Dahlia is gonna join the Stellaron Hunters. Honestly, I'd be so down for that. I would really be down for that. I was wondering after, because like we all know that originally it was planned for Sunday to be the one to join the Stellaron Hunters, right? Like, it was in the data mining. And they later changed it to have him join the Astral Express. I think Sunday was so flexible as a character, they could have done it. They could have done it either way, and it would have been fantastic. But they chose to go with the Astral Express, right? So Sunday goes to the Astral Express, not the Stellaron Hunters, right? So, but that kind of stayed in my mind. I was like wondering, like, okay, well, if Sunday's not joining the Stellaron Hunters, potentially could we get another member of the Stellaron Hunters in the future? Who knows? I think Constance joining the Stellaron Hunters would be awesome. Like, there've been other characters that, like, hey, what if they joined the Stellaron Hunters? And I'm just like, I don't really see it. But Constance is the first one since Sunday where I'm just like, yeah, yeah, I could see this character being in that group and it being really cool. So, the only thing is that's another girl into Stellar Hunters. Like it's just like Blade, Kafka, Firefly, Silverwolf, and if Constance joins, Constance. Just one old man and four, most of them extremely attractive women. Not all of them are very attractive. What am I saying? Just two of them are more, let's say, towards my preferences than the others. Andreas, really, there's another one though. It's the Herda. You're talking about the Herda joining the Stellar Hunters? I don't know about that one. I think the Herda is really going to be restricted to kind of the Genie Society and her role in the story, especially after Anthorius. So, but yeah, really, really cool stuff. The trailer is very visually appealing. This is her alt, obviously. A very horny alt, and then you kind of like revert back another kind of shot at the grave, and the trailer comes to an end as the two began to kind of plan what they were planning in 3.8, I think. And the title card, very cool, obviously. So, Andreas, her design is full of Elio. I don't understand why HH. Yeah, I guess it is kind of like from a design perspective, I could see it, but I just don't think it's going to happen from a narrative perspective. I think Herda has been written in a way Herda was written in Anthorius in a very specific way where I kind of know what they're going with her, and I just don't think it's going to be anything beyond Genius Society and her role as an ally of the Astral Express. So I think characters that end up joining the Celeron Hunters are actually going to be characters that like Constance, like characters that you didn't expect to come back in the narrative or you didn't expect to be important, and all of a sudden they're very important because they're a Celeron Hunter. I think that's going to be what the Celeron Hunter new members are. It's mostly going to be like. That said, I actually don't know if they're going to do new members for the Celeron Hunters. I think they should. I think the Astral Express and the Celeron Hunters should both gain new members with time. I just don't know how they're going to pace that, right? So we've got an extra Astral Express member, right? Sunday is pretty much all but joined, right, at this point. Black Swan, eh. A lot of people have said Black Swan might join the Astral Express. I would love Black Swan to join the Astral Express. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's happening. But if Sunday has for sure joined, pretty much at this point. So that's one extra Express member, and that means that Celeron Hunters and the Express don't have the same number of members. So if someone is joining the Express, I anticipate someone would join the Celeron Hunters. Who that could be, who knows? I think it'd be pretty damn cool if it was Constance. So that said, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think I think if we're gonna get a future Celeron Hunter, it's gonna be later down the line. But yeah, pretty simple trailer. I mean, let's go ahead and go back here. It's a simple trailer, but it's a very enjoyable one. And I'm glad that they didn't try to stretch themselves too thin here. Is from a production perspective, it's fantastic. The visuals are great. The OST absolutely hits, especially when the drop comes in. And what more can you love? What else is there to love? You just have true, extremely attractive characters flirting intensely with one another and getting some really nice Yuri bait. And I'm always down for some Yuri bait. Always. Like put me in between them. Like let's make a sandwich, bro. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Andreas, it's fun. It is a fun trailer, and it's short, but it's very sweet, and it's a nice change of pace after the last couple of trailers that we've had. Like when you think about like the last couple of character trailers that we've had Cyrene, Evernight, Don Hung, and like Finan. Like those are some characters, you know what I mean? So nice to get kind of a trailer that kind of leans. Oh, I forgot about Sarah and Heislin's. My bad. Heislin's trailer was also kind of like a bit more laid back. But we've had some intense trailers in Euphoria, so this one it's nice. It's nice to get back to a more relaxing trailer. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and kind of start wrapping up here for today. So, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, you can expect to see me tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Constance 3.8 drop, and we will be summoning for Constance. We're gonna get her for sure. To be determined if we get her light cone or not. I kind of want it. I'm not gonna lie. So, but we'll see how lucky summons go. And then after summoning session tomorrow, On Wednesday, we will play through the story in full. We're probably going to do the whole thing in a single session. And then obviously later in the week, we will do our recap of the story, our discussion stream, which we always do after we finish a new story. Andreas, maybe too fast. What character are you most waiting for in the next planet? Well, Andreas, that's a great thing to ask. Great question, because we've gotten some character silhouettes and we've heard some rumors. And a little birdie seems to be telling the entire Star Rail community that potentially we could be getting a Himiko SP. And if we get a Himiko SP, I will be down on the ground groveling. So yeah, that's the character. If Himiko gets an SP, that's the one I'm going to be looking forward to. There's I think in Star Rail, there's 3 characters that I think I have a very kind of particular kind of relationship or dynamic with. Number 1, obviously Cyrene. My entire channel in Star Rail has mostly been defined, especially in the past 6 months, by Cyrene. Most of this channel has been, appreciating Inforius, interacting with you guys about the Inforius story, and my favorite character throughout all of Inforius was Cyrene. I loved her from the moment she was announced back and all the way back with the original Chrysos Heirs trailer. So Cyrene obviously is a big part of this channel. She always will be a big part of this channel. The second character that I have an obvious relationship with is Firefly, because Firefly is actually my favorite character in Star Rail. It's not Cyrene. Surprise, sorry, it's Firefly. They're very close, but it's Firefly. Like, that's her sword right there. Right there. That sword hanging on the wall, that's Firefly's sword. Yeah, I was going to move the webcam to kind of show off my Firefly figure, but it's kind of stuck, so we're not going to do it. We're going to keep it there. Obviously Firefly. And then the third character that I've kind of talked about a little bit outside of Firefly and Cyrene is Himiko. I actually started playing this game because of Himiko. Originally, I wasn't going to play Star Rail. Then a friend of mine, one that most of you actually know, Goldston, he wanted to play Star Rail, and he asked if I would be interested in starting it with him. And I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? I used to play Genshin. Star Rail was the next big thing from Hoyoverse. I was like, let's do it, right? I downloaded Star Rail, had an absolute blast playing through it, and then Himiko comes in the tutorial kind of section of the game, and I was like, holy shit, that's Himiko. That's a Himiko XP, right? And I was like, I want Himiko. So I finished the tutorial. You get to the point where you get a couple of summons, right, to summon on the beginner banner. And I actually pulled Himiko as my very first 5-star ever in Star Rail, full odds. Like, it wasn't the guaranteed 5-star that you get from the beginner banner. The guaranteed 5-star I got from the beginner banner was Japard. But before I got my guaranteed 5-star, I got Himiko, full odds and 30 pulls. And the fact that she was the character that I wanted the most, and the fact that she was a character that I was most excited for as I played Star Rail, Himiko has always been a fan favorite of mine. So those 3 characters, Firefly, Cyrene, and Himiko, those are kind of like the main 3 of the channel, and they will be the main 3 of the channel unless kind of something big happens. So Himiko, I'm scared. I'm scared, True Andreas, but they're not going to kill her twice, right? They would never kill her twice. Knock on fucking wood. You know something about name in Genshin, the same name, mean you share the same face, so pray for Himiko F. Yeah. Prayers in chat for Himiko, guys, because if Himiko dies again, I'm not going to be able to take it. I will lose my mind. Like, you already took Cyrene from me. I know Cyrene's not dead, but Cyrene's not going to come back potentially ever. And if she does come back, she's going to come back at the very end of the story, right? So, like, you already took Cyrene from me. Firefly is somewhere in the fucking, like some type of recuperation, like, I don't know, like tube or something. Like, all my favorites seem to be getting fucked. Like, hello? Can some of my favorite characters, like, actually, like, not suffer, please? So, but yeah. Long story short, Andreas, Himiko. Andreas, so do Elysia. Cyrene name is Elysiae, so yes, it's the same fate. Yep. A lot of people are saying that Cyrene's real name is Elysiae because of ID's Elysiae. I think it's pretty cool. But good to see you, Andreas. It is fantastic to speak with you again, my friend. Hopefully, I'll be seeing you around as we kind of do the next couple of streams throughout this week. Should be really fun. We're going to go ahead and stop here for tonight. Appreciate you coming in, chatting it up. always a pleasure, my friend. We'll be live tomorrow at around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, pretty much an hour or so after the patch drops. So we'll be summoning. Hopefully, we'll get them. We'll get Constance. Hopefully, we'll get the Lycone. Should be fun. And then the next day, that'll be the 3.8 actual story playthrough. Should be cool. Andreas, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you, however you may be listening. Appreciate it, my friend. Everyone else who's been watching as well. Take care, guys. Peace.